Hey, hi, hello. Today's video we're going to be looking into how to design and build an automatic door in Once Human. Now, if you have done this sort of thing or trying to do it in your own game, you'll probably have noticed that it's pretty frustrating to figure out how to do some of this electrical circuitry in the game. So I'm hoping this guide will give you a good starting place for your current and future builds. Starting it off, let's discuss the items that you're going to need to have both unlocked and also the materials to build. And these are going to include an automatic door, which there are three options for: a pressure sensor, a dynamic sensor, a switch, and I have also opted for a few terminals to make the wiring look a little nicer and also have this guide be a little bit easier to follow. And then lastly, some sort of power source. So let's take a look at a template before I go into how to wire everything up, starting with the outside, where you can see that I have two terminals and a dynamic sensor. Now let's move on to the inside. On the inside, you're going to instantly notice that we have a bit more going on with 5 terminals, a switch, and a pressure sensor. And the 2 terminals on the right are going to simulate our power coming from some sort of power source coming in. So if you want to follow along with this guide, this would be a great place to pause the video and copy down the placement before continuing on. So now that we have all these items pre-placed down, let's take a look at how to wire this thing up. Now I'm going to go into build mode and then also flight mode so that it makes this a little bit easier. Now starting from the outside, we're going to simply start wiring from the terminal to the dynamic sensor and then the dynamic sensor to the secondary terminal. And then we're going to take one of those terminals and connect it to the other side of the wall on each side here. So we basically have a simple wiring here, and then we're going to take that, wire one side to the switch, the other side straight down to the secondary terminal I have here. And then we're going to take the pressure sensor here and connect it to the other terminal side. So basically we have switch up to camera, camera down to pressure sensor. And then we're going to take these 2 terminals, we're going to also connect them to the pressure sensor, but then that secondary terminal we're connecting to the automatic door itself. Now that is pretty much it for the wiring. I know it went a little bit quick, so feel free to skip back if you need to. And I'm going to leave up this screen for just a second so you can see that wiring through the walls. And then all we're going to do is simply take the power line and connect it to the switch. Now, like I said before, you need to have some sort of power adapter or anything like that. And then you also need to make sure that the switch is hit on green. Now you're probably going to notice when you first try to make this work, it's not going to work. You're going to hear the click like you're seeing right now. What you need to do is actually go around to the front of the building, unfortunately. And then all of a sudden it'll start to work. And then we can see that we can step on the pressure pad, we can walk outside, and then the camera itself, the dynamic camera, is a little finicky. Sometimes you need to just stay around and kind of maybe do a little circle loop before it'll automatically close. There's something to do with the timing of how often it senses the presence. But really, that's it. Now you can just walk in. You'll notice the door opens. Sometimes if you're not quick enough, the door will close back up on you. So and then as soon as you go through that door, you hit that pressure pad, it's going to close the door again. So that's really all there is to it. I know it's a little complicated, unfortunately, but hopefully this guide did help you out and you're able to implement this into your house if you really want to.